Welcome back, fellow maidens, to another tier list, and let's just say this one's a little bit different from what we normally do. This one's just going to be a little bit of fun, adventure, and exploration. We're not going to get too deep into some of them, but we will explore some of them and just have some fun. So let's get straight into it. This is the fetish tier list. Okay, so starting off, let's hope it doesn't get too wacky, but yeah, we're going to have some fun anyway. If you don't want to watch this, just choose a different video to watch, but we're just here to have some fun. Nothing too weird, just some fun, if you know what I mean. Okay, starting off we have adventurous body parts. I don't know what that means. Does that mean like toes or like ears? I don't really know, but I wouldn't really say that's a fetish. Now, when we're discussing these fetishes, these aren't necessarily mine. I'm just going to say on the whole scheme of things, what I think is weird, acceptable, and interesting. Not saying I do any of these, but interesting. Okay, the ones that are too like sexual, we'll probably just skip those ones just because not that I don't feel comfortable discussing that, that's just not what this channel's about. We're just here to have some fun and see what goofy things we can find in this tier list. Okay, so let's do it. Starting off. Okay, so adventurous body parts. I don't know, I think just I wouldn't go F because it's not like gross. I just go D because it's just a bit, when you think of fetish, you want it to be kind of weird. So I'm thinking it's not too weird. It's pretty safe. We're going D, it's fine. Feet, on the other hand, I don't understand this fetish at all. I'm just going to go D tier. Now, we're also going to stick, we're not going to be doing races because, I don't know, I think that's just, I don't want to get into that whole thing, so we're just not going to do races either. Anyway, and I don't know how to say this next one, but it's pretty funny. I did just have to look it up to know what it means. The picture does describe it perfectly though. It's faces, anime faces you would see in those kinds of novels, those kinds of graphic novels. I can see why people have a fetish for it. It's not weird. It's a tough one. I wouldn't put in the same one as feet and body parts because I feel like it's a bit more reasonable. I can't even say reasonable for a fetish, I don't know. We're gonna go C with that one. Okay, alien is fantasy related, so I don't really count it as a race. So, alien, I don't know, where does that go in the fetish tier list? Here we have Ahsoka from Star Wars, the Clone Wars. I don't know. I mean, I can totally see why people would have fetishes over aliens. Would I have one over Ahsoka? No, but I can see why people would. So I think that's a really fair one. So therefore I think that actually might just go S tier. Why not? Am I saying we put alien from like Stranger Things, like a Demogorgon up in S tier? I don't know. Maybe, but like I get it. I understand why people have fetishes over aliens. Like I understand it. Not saying it's what I'm into, but I understand it. Feet, I don't understand. But again, fetishes are weird, right? Next up, armor. Ooh, that's a really interesting one. I like the thought of that. I love weapons and armor, especially. The thought of Dark Souls, Elden Ring, anything like that, I think is pretty cool. So I think that's gonna have to go in the A tier. That's very cool. I've never thought of that as a fetish before, but I can see it. It's cool. Armpits, I don't get. Literally, they can be the smelliest of things. So I don't know why anyone would have a fetish over that. So that's just gonna have to go in the, maybe the F tier? Yeah, why? Next up, I don't know how to say this, but I'm assuming it means strangulation. It's kind of in the borderline of, you know, getting too sexual in terms of that kind of thing. It's a weird one, but again, people enjoy peeing, so I understand that in a way, I guess. I don't know, I'm gonna have to go D, because it's a bit too weird. you know, it's like, who wants to die? Who wants to feel like they're on the brink of death? Yeah, I don't know. What's this one? Auto Pizuri. Okay, I looked that one up. We're gonna skip that one. Not too sure what it entirely means, but we're skipping that. Ball sucking. We're gonna skip that one, guys. Sorry to disappoint. BDSM. I can't rate this one for you. You're just gonna have to imagine yourself where you put that on the list. Big muscles. That one's pretty normal. I feel that's just the basic one. I mean, it's kind of boring. I'd have to go D tier with that one. It's just muscles. I mean, come on. Not that exciting. Bikinis? Is that a fetish for people? I don't know. Where are we going to put that on the tier list? Bikinis. I don't know. I don't really like bikinis. I don't think they're that exciting. Lingerie or underwear, maybe. Bikinis, I don't know. I don't like the mix of water and clothing. It's so weird. So I think that's just gonna have to go in F tier. I can see why people like it, but I don't know. Blackmail, that's a weird fetish. So therefore D. I think that one's kind of boring. Blind? That's a fetish? Interesting. Maybe D tier. Never heard of that one before. Blood? Blood I don't get. F tier even. We're gonna skip that. Body licking. I love that they've chosen a Gengar for this with Misty. They're making it cute. That's not fair. They're making me want to rate that because that's so cute. It's like, you know, animals, but let's not make it a fetish because that's weird. I don't know, I'd have to go F tier for that. Don't like the thought of that. Body swap? That's a weird one. These are really interesting. Body swap. I can't see how that's a fetish. That's gonna have to go F tier. Breastfeeding? Come on guys, that's a bit weird. What's this one? Butek. Ew, is that puking on people? That's really gross. That has to go F tier. Cannibalism, again, really? That cannot be a fetish. That's not okay. That's too weird. Chastity belt. Now that one I can understand. That's pretty cool. Can I say pretty cool? I don't know. I don't want to be judged for saying that. We're gonna go C tier. It doesn't go in D because it's not normal enough. It goes in the C tier because it's more weird and more acceptable as a fetish, I think. That's why it's going in the C tier. Next up we have clone. I don't like the thought of that. Clones really freak me out. Multiples, things of the same thing, especially humans. It's too weird. Clowns, I don't get that one bit. Clowns are freaky. Just think of the mad puppet clown in Liza P. It's a no deal for me, people. Collar and leash. I really don't like that fetish at all. I do not like the idea of being one's pet or submissiveness. I think that's just so... It really lacks any excitement or ideas. I just think that's so boring. So, yeah, F tier. What do we have next? Conjoined. I don't think it's fair to rate that. Albino, though. I think that's interesting because I think albino, I think of vampires. I think of Alucard with the white hair, the white skin, the red eyes because he's a vampire. I don't know. I think that's pretty good, that one. I like that. I'm gonna go B tier. Only because in animes they make it look so good. In real life, it's not as effective. Cosplay. It would have to be a really good cosplay. It would have to be a pretty damn good cosplay, I'm not gonna lie. I am gonna go D tier on that. Because it has to be a good cosplay. It can't look cheap. It has to look legit. Cuddling? That's a bit boring. F tier. Because, again, it's not weird enough for a fetish. I don't know what that means. Okay, that one we're gonna have to skip. Next one is, I think, anime pillows. That is. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna have to put that in the F tier. It's too weird for me. Too weird. It's a pillow. Come on. No, it's the same as like the dolls and stuff. I'm sorry, but it's too weird. It's too weird. Detachable body parts. That's just freaky. I'm gonna have to go in the F tier for that. Dilf and MILF. Is that a fetish? That's an interesting one. I don't know. D tier, maybe? Doctor and nurse. I'm gonna have to go F tier. Let's be a bit more creative here, people. Dolls. Okay, they're showing Rani from Elden Ring. That's not fair. That's not fair. You cannot do that. Stop trying to make it acceptable. It's not. It's not. Everyone is accepted for their own, having their own things, but I will not let this tier list make me accept dolls should be normalized. But it's not fair they have it as Rani the Witch because she's technically alive. Anyway, forgetting that they have Rani there, which is very unfair, we're putting that in the F tier because it's too weird. We're skipping that one. Electric shocks. I think that's pretty interesting. For a fetish, that's a little bit, that's thinking outside the box a little bit more. Compared to the, where was it, this one? The strangulation one? I think electric shocks is exciting. That sounds very fun. The only time I think I've been electric shocked is, you know when you're like a kid and you're on a trampoline and you build up a lot of like static electricity and you touch someone and you get like that little electric shock? That's the only time I've ever experienced an electric shock. It's not nice. It's painful. So because it's painful, I'm gonna have to go D tier, but it's exciting. That's a different one. I haven't heard that one before. I would put it in C tier, but because it's so painful, it has to stay in the D tier. Skipping some of those, filming. I don't know. I don't think we can rate that one. Let's see. Food on body. I do not like that concept one bit. No, do not mix skin with food. It's too weird. Just keep the food on the plate, people. Come on. Let's not mix and match. Free use? I don't know what they're meaning by that. Gender change? I don't know. What do we think? Gender change. For a fetish? Nah, I'm not feeling it. I think F tier. Yeah, I just don't see it. Giant? I'm thinking of what's her name? From Pirates of the Caribbean. Oh, what's her name? Calypso. You know when she turns into the big giant? And then she's basically made up of all those white crabs from Davy Jones's Locker. Anyway, sidetracked. Giant is pretty cool. I don't know how it would work. Death by Snoo Snoo, I think for sure. But I think that's kind of interesting. The death element though, I don't know how it works. So we're gonna go D tier for that. Things would just be too big. It just wouldn't work. That's gross. I hate the idea of that. I'm not even saying the word because it's so disgusting. Hair job? That just sounds so disgusting. I'm sorry people, but that just sounds gross. I hate my hair being like tangled and stuff, so the idea of that is just no. No. Let's see what other weird ones we have here. Harem. Human furniture? What? That's really weird. Hyper? The image is misleading. Invisible? That's weird. No, I don't think that one's that good. I like to see things. I like to see things. Legs and thighs. I can see that being a fetish. Normal, but not generic. I think legs and thighs is a good one. I think it's B tier. Legs and thighs I can agree with. Okay. Normal, not too weird, but still outside of the box enough to not be boring. Long tongue. I just think that's kind of gross. I've seen too many animes and too many movies where they've done weird things. Like, is it that JoJo where he's got like the cherry and he's like flicking it between his tongue? It's just too gross. It's too weird. I think it's just too demonic looking. That's what it is. Medical tools. Ow, no. That sounds sore. That sounds really sore. Mind control? If you're mind controlled though, are you being controlled to enjoy it or not is the question. So I think no, F. Boring. Mini girl? Mini guy girl? Like a fairy? I don't see it. That does not compare to the giant at all. It's too small. You'll see nothing. Nothing. Multiple body parts. The only reason I would want another arm is so I can like scratch my back. That's all. I don't want anything else for any other reason. That's an F. A bit weird. Old man lady. I can't rate that one. Okay, a lot of weird ones there. Robot. I don't understand the robot one, because wouldn't that be sore in some elements? Yeah, it's metal. Come on, no, no. Skin suit? That sounds extremely gross. Maybe I'm not understanding what that means correctly, but yeah. Slime girl. I know there's some kind of waifu that's a slime from some game or something. I don't see it. I don't like slime. So no. Smell? That seems like a bit of a boring fetish. Let's see what else we have here. Body stretching. Only for Luffy would that work. Anyone else it would be too weird. So we're gonna have to go an F for that one. Swinging? What? No. I don't get that one either. Oops, sorry. That wasn't the right one. Tentacles. Okay. Let's be real here. We all love a good tentacle. I'm just kidding. I can't say that. I think that's just so gross. I don't see it. No. Time stopping. I don't see that what that would add to it, but mentally that would be kind of cool. So I think we're gonna have to go maybe C tier for that one. What else have we got here? Some of them I'm pretty sure I can't rate. Vehicle girl. I think that's just kind of dorky. We're gonna have to go F tier for that. Wrestling moves? No. I find it more funny, wrestling moves, because they're so like over the top. I wouldn't see them as anything else. Domination. That's an interesting one. At least it's normal enough and also kind of more weird. So I think that one can go C seems too high. But I feel like that is a very reasonable fetish. So C tier. What else have we got? Yuri, I think that's two females, right? So I don't think we can rate any of the rest because they're just a bit too X-rated for this today. Okay, so that's basically what our tier list is. I think we have a very reasonable one. I don't like that we have Alien in our S tier and it's the only one there. But hey, I don't know what that says about me, but it would sure say a lot about you if you agree with me. But yeah. Yeah, I think that's a very reasonable tier list. I'm pretty happy with my choices. And let me know in the comments down below, what do you agree with there? What would your S be? Just keep it not too weird, okay? Okay, here's an interesting thing I thought would be fun to look at. Here is what the community of tier making have rated their fetishes, let's just say. You know what? That's actually very reasonable. I can see what gender done this tier list more. Thighs and legs though was S. Maybe we should have our thighs and legs up there as well. In S tier. Yeah, maybe. Okay, let's see what they had in their A tier. Interesting. They had smell in A tier. That says a lot. B tier, they had the doctor and nurse. That's just so boring. So generic. And armpits, okay. In fairness, armpits is a weird one, so that's probably why it's so high. Let's see what they had in their F tier. Yes, they had body pillows and cannibalism in the F tier. That's what I'm talking about. They know that ain't it. They know. Oh, they had electric shock in the D tier. I thought that would have been higher. And armor is in D tier? What is wrong with these people? I thought they were somewhat normal, but they are not. Okay, well, yeah, anyway, that was our kind of fun, weird video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, comment down below. What would you put in your S tier? And again, let's not keep it too weird. Shout out to my Look Goblin members. Thank you very much, Bailey and Pancakes and Hammers. You guys are super awesome, and I really appreciate all of your support. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again real soon. Farewell.